So, I mean, this is, we're kind of doing this a little weird. So, what do you want to do?
We don't have an intro.
Welcome back to number 18. We are now a legal podcast.
Yeah. We are now a legal podcast. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to podcast. This is the Glaziar Gamble podcast. In case you did not know, I am Mychal Glaziar. He is Joe Rybolt. This is number 18. What he means by we are legal is you would actually be able to this podcast. Sorry, my mic. I think. Yeah, you would. Our podcast is legal. Our podcast could buy cigarettes.
No, we can't. That cigarette's 21 now.
I don't know. I'm old.
I think it's 21 now because they had a thing where if you were in Colorado, for instance, you could buy weed at 18.
21,
but you have to buy.
Colorado's 21 for weed.
Oh well, you could whatever. There's this. It was more legal to have weed than it would be to have cigarettes. So they're like, dude, throw out the cigarettes and roll this up.
I'm all for people doing that anyway.
Throwing out cigarettes, me too.
Throwing out cigarettes. If they have to substitute it with something, weed's probably better than alcohol.
Yeah.
But yeah, podcast 18. We are doing it a little bit different. We'll be recording this in segments, so apologize if it is a little choppy or anything like that this week. Let's start out with the huge news from today. Let's start off with a banger.
All right.
I stubbed my toe. No, Ben Simmons. He got kicked out of practice by Doc Rivers today because 1, he was refusing to practice in anything besides sweatpants. 2, he was practicing with his phone in his pocket. And 3, refused to participate in defensive drills even when told he needed to. He refused. So then Doc Rivers said,
"Go home,
get out." And Ben Simmons probably
apparently just dropped the ball. He just dropped the ball. I was like, all right,
cool. That's what I've been trying to get you to do that for the last hour. Thanks. I'm not mad. This is no different to me than Kyrie, Jimmy Butler, James Harden. He's just going about it a different way. If you want to say James Harden was being more professional, Jimmy Butler is being more professional, nah. None of you are fulfilling your contract.
They'll do things their way until they get their way.
Exactly. So Ben Simmons is just doing the same thing that those guys were doing, just in a different way. So if you're mad at him, go ahead and be mad at the other guys. Any excuse you make for those other guys, go ahead and give it to Ben Simmons because it's unprofessional. I'm not saying it's not, but yeah, it's no less professional than what the other guys were doing, showing up 20 pounds overweight and walking from top of the key to top of the key, and that's the best they'll do. Or being a toxic locker room teammate until they kick you out, what Jimmy did. Yeah, I mean, I hope Simmons, we mentioned this last week in the episode, I hope they both sides end up happy. Still hope both sides end up happy. It's just less likely that that's going to happen now.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I'd Daryl Morey trying to hold out for.
So Daryl Morey.
Yeah.
Daryl Morey was asked today, are you more likely to trade him? And his response was, we're still holding out for a realistic trade offer. First round picks aren't good enough. I feel as though our team is still championship worthy. So we want a player that is equal or better than Ben's talents, which would be all-star or better. So he's still saying he doesn't want first round picks. And they apparently turned down Pascal Siakam for Ben Simmons. So it needs to be better than Pascal Siakam and can't have picks.
Well, then what was that old report of them wanting 3 picks and 3 pick swaps? That's also confusing.
It is confusing.
I don't know what exactly they're looking for, because if they want an all-star caliber player, I mean, granted, does Pascal Siakam fit the Sixers when they have Tobias Harris can probably play a small ball 4 with Embiid out there? So
yeah, Siakam.
I don't know if he would really fit that.
I don't think he fits, but I mean, he fits better than Simmons.
Yeah, well, he'll play. So
right, and Siakam will play massive 2 guard if you want him to. They'll find us, or Tobias Harris could be a big
massive 2 guard. Yeah.
So, I mean, the Sixers could have found a way. They're not making sense.
Yeah, they're very, very. I feel like Daryl Morey's very stubborn.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he proved.
Well, I mean, you have to if you're a professional GM or.
Well, and when the
owner.
CBA favors the players so strongly, the only thing owners and coaches can do is be hard asses.
Right.
So yeah, I'm confused at why they turned down Siakam. If they want an all-star, he made the all-star team. You don't want first-round picks.
Do you think they probably wanted Van Fleet too?
They probably wanted something like Van Fleet. Or maybe OG and Siakam. Like, I don't know. The Raptors don't really have what the Sixers would want now that they don't have Lowry. Yeah, I don't know. I can see makes more sense that they wouldn't take him for scheme fit. I think they're just gonna hold out till, like I mentioned this a long time ago, they're just gonna hold out. Some team is gonna want Simmons later before the trade deadline, and that's when they'll make their move.
Yeah, some team's gonna be like, we can make a playoff run with Simmons, and then they'll find the thing that works.
I saw today, like, what happens if the Lakers end up at the trade deadline and they're under 500? Like, would the Lakers be like, oh, we got to do something big here because we're all 35 years old or older?
Their cap's in a very they got their whole salary in 3 players, so it'd be tough to
I think it'll be a team that thinks that they're championship level, something like the Hawks or maybe the Mavericks.
Try to trade them out of the East though.
Yeah, so
but Mavericks makes sense.
We said Mavericks. We said KP for Simmons, straight up.
Once again, scheme fit that doesn't really make sense for Philly.
No, but nobody else there's nobody else they'd probably really be willing to get rid of.
They don't need
CJ McCollum.
Hardaway. They don't. I mean, they got Danny Green and Seth Curry, so like getting McCollum, it's like you'd
have to make McCollum your point guard.
Yeah, which he can play point guard.
Well, if De'Aaron Fox is truly on the trade market, I don't think he is, but I've heard that he is because they like Halliburton. Well, De'Aaron Fox would be more than enough.
Right.
But I hope that doesn't happen.
Bagley too. If you could throw Bagley in there, I don't know.
I think Fox is better than Simmons.
Offensively. Definitely.
I mean, defensively, he's swiper, man. Swiper. But yeah, so that happened with Simmons. Next, what's probably going to happen is Simmons.
It's going to get ugly before it gets nice.
He's either going to fake an injury and not play, or he'll be do not play coach's decision.
Yeah.
It'll be something like, there's no way this team could figure it out. Yeah. Like Embiid today called him a child, said he's not here to babysit, so they're not going to play together.
Yeah.
What happens when they're on the court? Neither of them wants to give each other the ball. It's going to be worse for the team to have them play.
Right.
It's one of those, I mean, so I've heard people say that Kyrie could be traded for backup players at this point because it's such a headache. Couldn't you say the same thing about Simmons? Like, he doesn't show up in the playoffs and he's being a headache. Couldn't you trade him for a bunch of role players? If you really think the Sixers are a championship level team right now, 3 more role players that all fit a good scheme should probably make your team better.
Right, and like a decent point guard is what you need. Like you need a decent point guard.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of decent point guards out there. I don't know. I mean, it's gonna get uglier. So like this is gonna be a recurring. Yeah, we're a little past our prime.
If you like Patrick Beverly. If you like Patrick Beverly, he might be Patrick Beverly for Ben Simmons straight up. Let's go. Well, we'll toss in a second for you.
Pat Bev,
Jake Layman in a second,
and Torian Prince. Yeah,
I feel like Layman's the new Culver. Like if the Timberwolves are looking for a trade,
Layman's not
throwing Layman.
I don't know. Layman, I don't know. He's a decent defender, decent scorer. Just doesn't do anything exceptional. So
that's how I've been described all the time.
Yeah, you're a decent role player.
I'm a decent role player. I don't do anything exceptional. Yeah. Especially in the bedroom. Just nothing. But yeah, that's it for Ben Simmons.
It's going to be a recurring topic. I'm sure there'll be another story we'll bring up next week.
Yeah.
We'll keep you posted.
We had some more basketball. We talked about DeAndre Ayton in the past as well. DeAndre Ayton still has not been signed, and the Suns and them sound like they're almost arguing at this point. I don't know what's going to happen there.
They decided to pay Mychal Bridges.
Yep.
And let me just get the salary up here. So they would rather, and we talked about this too. We talked about this a couple podcasts ago, probably maybe 2 months ago, maybe a month and a half ago. We talked about, would you pay Chris Paul? And the Suns decided to. And now they are SOL probably on so Mychal Bridges got a 4-year $90 million. So that is roughly 18. Is that right?
That'd be 20.
22 and a half.
Yeah, I was gonna say that'd be over 20.
So those, I mean, I don't know if they have enough now. I don't think they can get 8.
No.
We mentioned that into the luxury.
You can get bird right. You have bird rights, but you're gonna be paying huge luxury tax.
Huge luxury tax.
I think the big mistake was paying Chris Paul for 4 years.
Yeah, you're gonna have a 45-year-old point guard and
who's making $40 million. He's making his $1 million per year.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just absurd.
I thought that was like, because I thought that at most if they did extend Chris Paul, it'd be like 2 to 3 years for like 25 million, 30 million, maybe 30 million,
but not 40. It's like, good lord.
Because his contract
was 30, before, right? It was like 30 something.
Either way, it's still too. Whatever they're paying him now is too much.
Yeah,
and because
it costs you on Ayton,
right? And now it might cost you Ayton. So like, you're paying the 30 million whatever for Chris Paul, but you're also paying whatever DeAndre Ayton's worth to you.
Right.
That's how much Chris Paul just cost.
In Chris Paul's, yeah.
So that's all going on. And then basketball regular season is starting. Brooklyn Nets, Milwaukee Bucks.
Tonight, right?
Yep.
Tonight starts.
Banner unveiling, and then I think Brooklyn whops them.
Whops.
I think the Bucks championship hangover game 1. Brooklyn Nets believe they would have won. I think it's Nets win.
Nets win.
I
mean, KD's still the best offensive player in the league. That's not maybe. Yeah, no, he is.
Yep. So I don't want anybody else. Like Dame, Brad, like the other guys that are better than him are guys that are the only guys on their team. Their usage rate is so high.
Yeah.
Like Bradley Beal, Jason Tatum.
I was gonna say even like Steph, but Steph would probably be my number 2.
Right, and Kevin Durant's 3-point ability. I feel like if he shot as many attempts as Steph, he'd be right up there.
Yeah, exactly.
He's so good. I love
KD's so good.
I love KD.
So, be
cool.
Curious to see how they do tonight. But I mean, KD, Harden, Joe Harris is good.
You're good. I think that's it for basketball, though.
Nope.
Wait, one more?
We got 2 more.
2 more. Go ahead.
2 more. So we got Marvin Bagley news.
Oh yeah,
coming out of Sacramento about how he apparently the Kings said that they weren't gonna entertain offer. They weren't gonna trade him because they saw him in their plans, and then they announced their opening night rotation or whatever, and he wasn't included in that. So his agent kind of put the Kings on blast, saying like, if you're not going to play my player, like play my player, play Bagley, who I represent, then like why aren't you even entertaining offers for him? Like he wants to find a place where you can play.
I think he'd be a really good small ball center for one of these big teams.
Exactly. I mean, he's a small ball player. He doesn't have the juice.
Right. That's why playing his natural position of the 4 is where I think he's missing out, is because he's better fitted for a small ball center team.
Yeah,
I think that's his big issue. I think send him to a small ball center team, maybe in the East. The Magic would probably service well with the small ball center. I just don't know who you're going to give them in return. I mean, their first round pick would be extremely valuable.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Wolves play tomorrow.
Yep.
We'll end it with some Wolves news. Wolves play tomorrow. Patrick Beverley is suspended.
You said there was 2 things.
Yeah. Well, Wolves news is one thing together. So Patrick Beverley suspended for pushing Chris Paul in the playoffs. So he's serving that 1-game suspension tomorrow. Cool. However, Jordan McLaughlin is
McLaughlin.
Yeah, his injury is okay, so he should be the backup point guard. So
even if not, I mean, why not Noel if he has
Noel's also hurt, back spasms. So
put them both in there, combine them together.
Yeah, you're telling me like
polymerization card.
I don't know. Ant couldn't play point guard, or
right? D'Lo can't play 48.
Yeah, KD can. And then the other small thing, very surprising, the Wolves decided to pick up the next year option on Ant and McDaniels. So kind of surprising there
that they picked up the next year option.
Yeah, you don't expect that because they're not great.
Right. I would have, maybe minimum extension at best.
Yeah. So, I mean, saw that coming. They just did it.
When you said another small thing, I thought you were going to talk about me, but
that's for the Glaziar Gamble After Dark.
Oh, yeah. We'll do that sometime. Midnight to 2 in the morning podcast live. Okay, so that is basketball news.
That's basketball, yeah.
Chicago
Sky won the WNBA.
That's who I said was going to win on Twitter. It was Chicago Sky. After they beat the Lynx, I said they're going to win it all, and they won it all. WNBA expert.
I mean, Candace Parker.
Right.
WNBA. She's great.
And then hockey and baseball are still happening. I think golf is happening. Yeah, those things are happening. Go watch.
Minnesota Wild are 2-0 last time I checked, but they probably had like 6 games since then. So Kaprizov had an assist in both games. Some guys said we overpaid.
The Wild
for Kaprizov.
are no, we did not overpay. The Wild are currently losing in the 3rd period.
Nice. Spoke too soon.
And they are currently still 2-0. But I wanted to get into a couple matchups for week 7 for the NFL. What I thought was interesting is the Broncos and the Browns are facing each other. The Browns are only 3.5-point favorites in Cleveland. Even though
Is Baker questionable? Because he got like benched.
So Baker's questionable, Kareem Hunt is out, and I believe Nick Chubb is out.
That's why it's so close. So
I don't know.
You don't think the Browns should be favored? Or you think it should be the Broncos in that case?
I
if
think
Baker,
the Browns.
Chubb,
I think Browns by 5 points would be fair. Even with those guys out, I think the Browns are that much better than the Broncos. The Broncos started out 3-0. They are 3-3. The Broncos team, the teams that they were 3-0 were 0-9.
Look at the Panthers. Panthers are also 3-3, I believe.
And they started out 3-0. And the teams that they beat also weren't it's just I don't think the Broncos are as good as everybody thinks.
The only thing I can think of is if the Broncos receivers are healthy, I think that could be problematic for the Browns, because the Browns typically do shoot, like if it comes to it, they're typically in shootouts, unless they're playing the Vikings, then both teams just suck ass.
Well, who's the Browns backup QB?
Case Keenum.
Yeah, he's an above average backup.
Yeah, so I mean
the Browns were able to defend Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and KJ Osborne to 7 points.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought that one was a little weird. I can understand it, but in my mind, I don't. Really.
If their people are healthy, if like Baker's out there, Chubb's out, if one of their running backs are out there, it's going to be Browns by a mile. It should be. But if they're
speaking of by a mile, Packers are 10-point favorites from the Washington football team. Makes sense. It's in Green Bay, and the Washington football team has been terrible. Titans and Chiefs at Tennessee. Chiefs are 5.5-point favorites. Chiefs have been picking it back up.
Yeah, they're 3-3 now.
My only thing is, can they match Derrick Henry's 350 yards he's about to get? The Chiefs have the worst defense,
and he has 10 touchdowns in the last 5 games.
Yep, he is the league leader in rushing touchdowns, and he is the league leader in rushing yards by over 200 yards.
That's absurd, man. He's just...
Never forget, I said take Alvin Kamara number 1 in fantasy if you had to pick. Just wanted to...
And every other place said take CMC.
Yeah. I said Kamara, Cook, and Henry were the 3, and then I was worried the most about CMC. We were right about being worried about CMC, and then I said I was hesitant about Cook because he's been injured, so I went Kamara, Henry, Cook.
Cook
Henry
missed,
should have been number 1.
Cook missed a game and a half.
Which is what I figured. I figured he'd miss 2 games.
Yeah, which is, expect that almost with Cook. Like, I expected to have him miss a couple games.
I expect a hamstring that keeps him out a week.
Yeah, but he also came back and had 140 yards and a touchdown, so I can't really complain.
But yeah, I think Chiefs win that. I think the only big thing is keep up with... I don't know if 5.5 is right, especially in Tennessee.
Well, the Titans did just beat the Bills, but I also think the Bills are a little overrated.
I think the Bills are overrated. Even if by calling them the best team in the league, that's saying they're overrated. They could be the 2nd best team in the league, but calling them the best team is still making them overrated. Like, don't take that as we think they're a terrible team.
No, the Bills are good. Like,
they're
the Bills
a good
are
team, but they're not the best team in the league. And Josh Allen is not an MVP right now. I would put Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray all above Josh Allen.
I agree.
And I'm getting to the point where Aaron Rodgers is getting back to that discussion as well. Yeah. And Tom Brady's always in it. Patrick Mahomes is always. I don't think those guys will win it.
Brady's stats are really good.
He's leading the league in yards.
Yeah.
Falcons versus Dolphins.
Oh my God,
that's a terrible game.
That's a horrible game.
Falcons are 2.5.
The Dolphins have somehow found a way to lose every game, basically.
Yeah.
So
but they also figured out that they did just lose to the winless Jags, but they also figured out that Jalen Waddle exists.
Yeah, but they also forgot that Myles Gaskins, they don't know that Myles Gaskins their best running back.
Went off.
Yeah, but they don't know that Gaskins their best running back. They're like, we could give our best running back like 6 touches.
He got nothing last week. Oh man, Gesicki went off.
But then the game before, he got like 19 touches and like 80 yards and a touchdown. So it was,
the Jags did the same thing with Robinson week 1, and then they got to realize like, oh, okay, give him the ball. He's way better than Carlos Hyde.
Yeah.
They just need to be like, oh wait, Gaskin. Yeah. give him the ball. But personally, I think Falcons beat the Dolphins.
Yeah, I agree.
Even though it's in Miami.
The Dolphins just find ways to lose games. So
Yep. They just do.
They're not great.
All right, so we mentioned that I know we're in the middle of the NFL breakdown, but we mentioned that I mentioned that I thought the Bucks would lose to the Nets. Yeah, they won by over 20 points, so they won by 23 points.
Yep.
So yeah, obviously I'm a WNBA expert, but not an NBA expert.
Right.
So the next one we're on is Jets Patriots. Could care less, to be honest, or couldn't care less. Patriots are 7-point favorites. I don't think, just like early in the season with the Jags, I don't think or the Texans, I don't think any point is, like, the Texans have covered a bunch, by the way, but I just think Jets, you could say 21-point favorites here, and I'm like, maybe.
Yeah.
It's the Patriots, and Bill Belichick against a rookie quarterback.
Yeah. Just let Zach Wilson air it out. Just let him air it out. Let Mac Jones air it out, too. Mac Jones has been so safe.
That's
he's
what he's going to be his whole career, man.
Yeah, so let him air it out. Let him just have a wet noodle contest.
See, and what I want from the Patriots is post a shutout against the Jets. Like, Jets score 0, and then Ramondre Stevenson has 100 yards, and their other 2 starters have 100. I don't have Ramondre on my fantasy team anymore, so that's not why I'm saying that. They're all 3 starter running backs to have 100 yards plus. But that's what I want from the Patriots right now, because I don't think they need to pass the ball. Like, go ahead and keep playing defensive.
They got tight ends.
Right, exactly. If you do pass it, Jonnu and Hunter Henry. Jonnu might drop it, though, so probably Hunter Henry. Jonnu's got
Tannehill
so many drops this year.
Just have Tannehill thrown to him.
That's true. He has, what's his name? McDougan? His full name is McDougal.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, just let him air it out. Just let the 2 rookies just...
His first name is Mychal. It's McCorkle. His Mac comes from McCorkle.
Nice.
Yeah, they don't have Ryan Tannehill. They got McCorkle.
Just have them, instead of swinging contest in the locker room.
Uncork the McCorkle.
Just let him air it out.
And when he runs in, I hope...
For Cam.
Yeah. Oh man, speaking of Cam, Panthers Giants. Cam Newton probably be the new Giants quarterback coming up here soon. Apparently he's gotten offers to come back into the league. It's just not in situations he wants to be in.
No, not a starting situation.
He said that this past Friday.
You're telling me the Texans couldn't use him?
They might have. That might not be a situation he wants to be in. Maybe because I
don't blame him.
Cam cares a lot about off-field things and political statements,
right?
And their owner has been D-Hop probably told him dude, they have a racist owner. And Cam was like, all right, I'm good. So they probably don't. That's probably one of the teams that wanted him, because you think of the most quarterback needy teams, would Cam want to go there?
Yeah.
So I think it would be awesome to see Cam back up Lamar, but they got McSorley, so just something. Because the Washington football team probably has reached out to Cam, but now Cam's I'm not working for Snyder.
No, with all that stuff with Washington coming out, no. So Raiders, nope. We don't need Raiders, but
they don't need them. But you just think about all these teams that need quarterbacks.
Seahawks,
right? Maybe Seahawks would be a good one, but they like Geno.
So did Rex Ryan.
I think he would be an awesome backup in Atlanta. Something like that would be good.
Why don't what you said when he first got cut, Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I would love if he went to Pittsburgh. It's just
he's got a better arm than Ben, but so do we. So
do most people right now. But yeah, so Panthers are 3-point favorites. I think that's fair. Daniel Jones turned back into Daniel Jones last week, had 5 turnovers. Giants are just not good. Saquon, I don't know what happened. I don't know if his injuries have just taken over, what's going on, but Saquon's just not the same guy. I thought Saquon, when he was coming out of college, I was like, this is going to be the next guy.
He was explosive.
The dude. And then he's just, I said the same thing about Kareem Hunt as well. I thought Kareem Hunt coming out, that's why I was like, oh no, we don't need to take Dalvin Cook. We can take Kareem Hunt. But then Dalvin Cook fell out of the first round, and I was like, okay, we can take Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, that was a good pick.
But yeah, I thought Saquon was just the next guy. I hope he gets back to that, but I don't know what's going on.
I think it could be just the team that he's for. The team's not great.
I'm glad when I took Kenny Golladay for my fantasy team, it was a mid-round flyer pick. I was like, nobody's really taken him, so I'm just gonna give it a shot. He's a number 1 guy.
Yeah. And then you got Mike Williams and Debo later.
I got Debo Samuel also in the mid, because I was like, he's gonna have a big year. So far, that's been right. And then Mike Williams is because every year of his career, he's been on my fantasy team. Yeah. I will take him number 1 overall next year if that's what it takes to make sure he stays on my team. Yeah, I love Mike Williams. If I would just straight up like I want to eventually have a jersey from every football team, every team. Chargers.
Football team. There's only one football team.
Sorry, every NFL team.
There you go.
The Chargers one's probably going to be Mike Williams because I want it to be like current players that are playing while I'm watching. So like I have Tyrann Mathieu from like his Cardinals. So like I got Kuechly when he was still in the league, but now if I were to get a Panthers jersey, it wouldn't be like Kuechly, but I wouldn't get another Panthers jersey, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, I would get Mike Williams 100%. Otherwise, it would be Asante Samuel Jr. because I wanted the Vikings to take him so bad, but he was gone.
I have a Brady, a Allen Hurns, Joe Hayden, Xavier Rhodes.
Just a bunch of studs, man. You got the best player ever, and then just a steep, like a cliff drop off to the next best. Probably Joe Hayden has the next best career.
Yep.
And then Rhodes, then Hurns.
Yep.
Allen Hurns, man. You have a Jags jersey.
Hell yeah. I'll get you yours.
If I were to get a Jags jersey, James Robinson, probably. Or Miles Jack? Nah, James Robinson. Anyway, next little tangent there. Just wanted to let you guys know. I'll put a little donation in the bottom. Go ahead, buy us jerseys. No.
We'll wear them.
Oh, I would wear them. Bengals, Ravens. Ravens are favored by 6.5. I think that's a lot.
The Ravens have been balling out though.
But they started out so cold, like you don't know if they might have another game like that. And the Bengals they started out hot, cooled off.
I don't know. Didn't they just dust the Chargers though?
The Ravens?
Yeah. Ravens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see it. They're hot right now.
Right, I can
Ravens
see
are
it.
hot right now.
I can see it, but I'm also thinking that 6.5 is a lot. It is in Baltimore, so maybe you know what? If it was in Cincinnati, maybe I'd be more hesitant. But it's in Baltimore, so maybe 6.5 is.
Ravens are probably one of the hottest teams right now too. So
and Joe Burrow has no defensive line, and the Ravens defense is offensive line. The Ravens defense is so good. So you know what? Yeah, 6.5. That sounds about right. Eagles, Raiders. That's another one. I just don't care. But I mean, Raiders are only 3-point favorients in Vegas. I think
Hurts has been playing not great,
so not good. And then Carr carried the team last week, so good. So you know what?
Yeah, I'm glad the Raiders got a win after all the
and because Carr, man, we like Carr.
Yeah, we thought we were getting him.
When they traded back up into the first round pick, we both were like, Derek Carr, Teddy Bridgewater. All right.
Who else did we thought? We thought we were getting somebody.
We traded down.
We wanted Manti Te'o. We thought we were getting Manti Te'o, but we got Cordarrelle.
Yep. So. We also traded down with the Browns 1 pick. And I was like, Khalil Mack was taken. And that's who the Vikings wanted. So then they traded down 1 pick, and I was like, the Browns might take Justin Gilbert. That's who I want, is Justin Gilbert. And then the Browns took Justin Gilbert, and we took Anthony Barr.
Well, it was the better pick than Gilbert.
Gilbert Mack obviously would have been the best out of those.
Yeah.
I believe that was also the year that I was like, I believe there's a guy named Aaron Donald in this draft that I want, because I believe Aaron Donald went after Barr. I'm pretty sure Donald went after Barr like 1 or 2 picks, and I was like, I would like Aaron Donald too. He's really good.
Yeah,
I didn't think he'd be this big, but
not sure who that is.
I wanted to throw this in because we did talk about the Browns a little bit ago. I believe it was off camera where we talked about the Browns, or did we talk about the Browns? No, that was the first game we went over. We did talk about the Browns. Myles Garrett has been tested, random drug tested 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, no, he played us. Would it be 3? It'd be 3 because he was tested right after our game.
The thing I saw today said 2. So maybe
because he said he tweeted right after that because he didn't wear sleeves.
Yeah, it was his 2nd week in a row of going sleeves, and both weeks he's gotten drug tested.
Yeah, I mean, if Daniil didn't wear sleeves, he'd be the same thing. So
I mean, Myles Garrett is just an inhuman. He like alien-looking human. It's not natural to be that big, that strong, that fast. So I get it, but like, come on, NFL. This is what players look like now. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, I think Raiders win that. I think they're going to beat the Eagles. It's in Vegas. So
yeah.
Rams are 16-point favorites over the Lions.
That's a Matt Stafford revenge game there, though.
So you got Matt Stafford revenge, but the Lions have been playing so hard. 16 is so much. It's over 2 touchdowns. They have to lose by more than 2 touchdowns, but they've also been shut out. So
I don't know if I'm taking the six. What did you say? 16.5?
16. It's 15 and a half, I think.
Right.
Yeah, 15 and a half.
So that's a lot of points.
That's more than 2 touchdowns. Like if they lost 21-7, they still covered.
Yeah.
If they lose 35.
Yeah, but the Rams can put up more than 21 points easy.
Right. So 35-21. They still cover.
I don't know if the Lions put up 21. No.
So you know what? Maybe if they cover that, because the over-under is 50. 34-50 would be the
34-16.
Yeah, 34-16. Sorry, I did the
33-17. 33-17. That's what they expect it to be.
Yeah, So anyway, I think that's such a big margin. The Lions have been playing so hard, but there is a good chance that they lose by more than 15.
Yeah.
Rams win no matter what. We don't care about the point spread all that much, but Rams win in that. I don't. Matt Stafford could sit out. I don't even know who their backup is. I feel like they win.
Doesn't matter.
Right. You mean Jared Goff revenge game?
Unbelievable 7 first half touchdowns.
all rushing.
Cephas.
No, it would be to Amon St. Ra. Let's see. Cardinals, Texans, bigger point spread.
Oh my God.
At Arizona, Cardinals are 17-point favorites.
That's low.
Yeah. And the over-under is only 47.
Well, it's going to be 47-0 is what it's going to be.
Texans aren't winning that game.
Oh, man.
We don't even need to say anything else. Buccaneers in Tampa over the Bears. 12.5.
Yep, that seems right. Bears have not been playing great.
Justin Fields
Bears
doesn't
O-line
look quite ready yet, but he'll get there.
Bears offensive line could be the worst offensive line in football.
I think Cody Whitehair's good.
I mean, yeah, he's good, but they're not good. Their offensive line is not good. Fields has been sacked like 5 times in each game he's been in. So,
and part of that could be rookie holding the ball, but part of it's probably just bad. I mean, it's bad offensive scheming as well usually.
Right.
Bucks win for sure. I think Niners, Colts. Niners are 3.5-point favorites in San Francisco. That one could go either way. Carson Wentz been playing pretty well.
Carson Wentz has been playing okay. Trey Lance has been playing okay. I mean, that's a toss-up. I'd stay away from that game if you're betting. But
if you were
not betting. This is not a betting podcast.
No,
it's a math podcast.
This is a math podcast, not a betting podcast, or sports or Marvel. This is math.
Yeah,
Matt.
Stay away from that game.
Shout out to Mike in our comment section last week, pointing that out. Thank you, Mike. Pointing out his math podcast. Appreciate it. Saints last game. Saints Seahawks. Saints are 4.5-point favorites in Seattle. I think this is another one you stay away from. Both of these teams,
you don't know
what are you gonna do.
Yeah,
Seahawks have a terrible defense, and they have Geno Smith. And the Saints, it's like every other week. It's Jameis Winston throws 4 touchdowls
with 150 yards.
The next week is 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. The Saints are just I don't know what to do. I think
what week is this? 7?
7, yeah. And Bills, Cowboys, Jags, Chargers, Steelers, Vikings all on bye.
All right, so I just checked, and Michael Thomas is still a few weeks away. So he could be activated week 8 or week 9. They are 31st in the league in passing. Do you know that? The Saints are 31st in the league in passing.
Yeah.
So
after week 1, what have they done?
That's when I think the Saints need to hold out until they get him back, and then hopefully they can start being more consistent.
Once the Saints pick up Spencer Rattler in the 6th round this year, that'll be their quarterback of the future. 6th round pick, Spencer Rattler. Oh man,
here first.
Hey, never forget Dak Prescott. Never forget I had the Saints picking Dak Prescott to be Drew Brees' background in the 1st round.
Dak's great.
That's always my go-to. First of all, I had Dak going in the 1st round. Second, I had him going to a team that would probably win a Super Bowl with him. Last main topic about the NFL, let's talk about some Vikings since we just mentioned them a little bit.
Of course.
Kene Nwangwu.
That's
Nwangwu. I don't want to mispronounce it, but I probably already butchered it.
We're very excited for him.
He was the best kick returner, punt returner in Madden when it first came out, and he's just that. He is a weapon. He's one of those guys that he's just so fast, so quick. It's the type of guy the Chiefs would be like, we want him. Unfortunate. He hyperextended his right knee, one of his knees. So it took him a while to get back, but
He was doing really well in preseason too. Really well in preseason. Returning
I
kicks.
hyperextended my Achilles once.
I haven't really been injured at all. I don't.
I hyperextended my Achilles. They wrapped me up all the way up to my knee so that my leg could barely bend, and then I went back out.
Nice.
Sucked. Anyway, yeah, very unfortunate he got hurt, but super excited. Amir got released. We thought that was going to happen. Whenever Kene was coming back, we thought
Amir probably will come back to the practice squad, but we can't elevate him without signing him because we've used our elevations for him.
Okay.
So, but he's a good just vet to have, Amir. So
yeah, I thought he was great to have, but I'm fine if we don't, just because when he does play, it's so underwhelming.
Yeah,
he's a good locker room guy though.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, Kene's back, and then
Patty P got placed on IR. Which is the first time in his career, so he's out a minimum of 3 weeks.
Yeah, he says he doesn't know quite what to do to handle it right now, but he's figuring it out. And then Joe, for everybody watching, everybody listening right now, if you're on Spotify, if you're on YouTube, I need you to grab a snack. I need you to grab a drink, something.
Get your popcorn ready.
And I need you to probably sit down. Because Joe has he has a message for all of you listening right now.
Some of you are not going to like this, and it's going to be hard for you to hear. Here, first off, let's do something a little light here. Starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now that have 2 or less turnovers.
There's only one.
Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins. Now, only 3 quarterbacks in NFL history have surpassed 30,000 passing yards and 200 touchdowns in their first 115 games played. Okay. Peyton Manning, Dan Marino. Yep. And Kirk Cousins.
So he's as good as Peyton Manning and Dan Marino.
I mean, in his first 115 games, yeah.
They say turnovers win games, so he has the least amount of turnovers, so best quarterback in the league.
Right, he's up there. So if he can turn it around when it comes to the playoff wins and possibly a Super Bowl appearance, Kirk Cousins is a Hall of Fame quarterback, and I say that with pride.
You heard that correctly. Joe is here to tell everyone Kirk Cousins is a Hall of Fame quarterback if they win the Super Bowl. If they can win a Super Bowl.
The Vikings are 0-6 without Kirk Cousins, and they are 6-0 with a better offensive coordinator.
I think they are 0-6 without Kirk Cousins, and I think even with Clint Kubiak holding the team down, they are 6-0 with luck a little bit more on their side.
Yeah, I mean we're 5-1.
The Browns game was ugly. Both sides.
2 games. You're right. The first 2 games we should have won. So.
Yeah. Yep. The Seahawks was like a for sure win. And then the Browns, they deserve to lose. Otherwise, all the rest should have been won. My opinion, if it were me, I don't think they would ever be 6-0 because of the way they played against the Browns. I think at best they'd be 5-1, but they should be 5-1. But yeah, if he won the Super Bowl, his stats throughout his career.
Hall of Famer Kirk Cousins. People don't want to hear
Canton, Ohio.
Hashtag Kurt is back.
The bust of Kurt will be up forever. And then I hope at his Hall of Fame inductee ceremony,
you like that?
They play his a cappella singing from high school.
Yeah. I just hope it's the Washington clip where he's like, you like that? You like that?
Other than that, Vikings are on bye, so we don't have a ton of big Vikings news. Make sure to keep an eye for anything else that we post throughout the week. Do you have anything sports-wise that you have to cover? Not a ton going on, in my opinion. NBA is just getting started, so there's not a ton. NHL is just getting started, so there's not a ton. Baseball playoffs really aren't interesting.
Yeah.
It's the Astros and the Dodgers both look awesome. I don't even know if either of those teams are still in it, but when I was watching, it looked awesome.
I think the Braves have I don't even know if this is right. The Braves have a 2-1 lead over the Astros. I'm just making shit up. I have no idea.
The Red Sox have a 2-1 lead over the Astros, and the Braves have a 2-1 lead over the Dodgers. The two teams I said look good were the Dodgers and the Astros, and those are the teams down.
Because of scandal with the Astros, I just never really want them to win. So hoping for the Red Sox to win.
I don't know about never, because the Red Sox
it's gonna
have been terrible off. Like their fans have had bad situations happen, and the way that they've treated away teams before has been reportedly terrible. So The Red Sox apparently are redeemed for things that they've done. So
Yeah,
obviously
but
the Astros not forever, but yes, I agree. I hope the
it's
Astros
it's going
lose.
to take it's still a sour taste.
They
in a
got
lot of
off
people's
easy
mouths.
because it was a COVID year, so they didn't really get any sort of booing from fans or anything like that. So they got off easy.
So 3 of their players made the All-Star team. 2 of the players that were there for the scandal. The other one was like brought in after. He went, and I don't believe there was any booze or any negativity towards them. But the 2 that were a part of the scandal, that were there when the scandal was going on,
didn't go.
They decided not to go and spend time with their families. But in reality, they didn't want to get booed.
Right.
So
I feel similarly with the Astros. It's similar to like the Saints. Like,
yeah,
I didn't want the Saints after they had the whole bounty gate. I didn't want Drew Brees to win again. I was like, all right, he's had enough Super Bowls. Then he was on a team that, like, it's the way a lot of people felt about Tom Brady. Like, he's cheated enough times, he doesn't deserve to win anymore. Drew Brees has proven to have a cheater, so I always didn't like to have a cheating team. So I didn't want them to win. But I'm over that. I'm over the Saints thing
it's more
now.
so. Yeah, I mean, it's every time I see Sean Payton's face, I'm like, I don't want anything good to happen to you or your football team.
He's very funny off field. It's hard. He's one of those guys I don't like him, but it's hard to dislike.
The best
him.
part was the Minneapolis Miracle when he's sitting there mocking the fans doing the skull thing, and then we just keyed him to Diggs, and then he's just like make him eat his freaking
and then
chant.
Diggs did the Choppa dance to him.
Yeah. Shout out to KJ Osborne doing the Diggs thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Diggs was great. Diggs was great while he was here, and like the trade, both sides won, so we can't.
Yeah,
Diggs is an amazing
happy
player,
for the Diggs. I like Diggs coming out of the draft. I thought he was a steal when we took him. I thought he was going to be an all elite level kick returner. He became too valuable as a wide receiver to be returning anymore. I think he's doing great in Buffalo. Obviously, this year is a down year compared to last year. He only has 1 touchdown so far.
Yeah, he just got it last week. So
he and Trayvon Diggs have the same amount of touchdowns.
No, Diggs has more. Diggs has 2. Trayvon Diggs.
I thought he only had 1.
No, he's got 2.
But so happy for Diggs. I hope he's happy in Buffalo, and Justin Jefferson we're more than happy to have. So I'm happy with what both sides ended up with.
There was I got one more thing just to if we're gonna end it. Just to the Twins, signed Byron Buxton.
I'm not a big Twins fan. I also think Buxton doesn't play enough to be worth as much as I would like him to be. But when he does play, it'd be like if the Sixers didn't sign Embiid to a max.
Yeah.
Like when he does play, he's one of the best players in the league. When Buxton plays, he's the best defender in the league. So just give Buxton his max. What are you waiting for? It was like Kaprizov. What was the wait for?
Yeah.
Just don't be a Minnesota team and get rid of a good player, please. That is it for our sports section. Really hope you enjoy. Our outfits will be changing for our other segment. If you're watching on YouTube, I probably won't be wearing a Cardinals jersey for our Marvel discussion. So don't be alarmed if you do watch both. But I really appreciate all of you. If you enjoyed this, subscribe. We'll definitely see you next time. You look beautiful today, Joe, and all the viewers. And live every day. I watched a motivational Jim Carrey speech today. Got me feeling good, got me in my feels. Love Jim Carrey. So yeah, go ahead and check it out if you want. Jim Carrey did a college graduation speech. I'd recommend watching. It's like 11 minutes. So for any of those watching, if you have 11 minutes to spare, I suggest that it'll make you feel productive for the day, hopefully. Or Comedians in Cars with Coffee on Netflix. Watch Jim Carrey's episode. That's another good one. Other than that, GG.
GG.